What up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Film Bros podcast. I'm your host, JP. This is my co-host, Josh.
Hello.
And we're back to bring you another movie review, Palm Springs.
Good day so far? Today, tomorrow, it's all the same.
You! What is going on? Hey, get out of the water!
Guess you followed me. It's one of those infinite time loop situations you might have heard about.
That I might have heard about.
Yeah, Palm Springs. Andy Samberg. We got J.K. Simmons. We got Cristan, Milodi. Tyler Hoechlin is also in there. So we got a pretty good cast in this movie. So if you guys are new to this pod and you guys don't know, this will be a spoiler review. So if you guys haven't seen the movie yet, go ahead and walk away now. Josh, to give them a chance to walk away, you want to go ahead and let them know where they can find us?
We are on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify at FilmBros Podcast. We're also on Twitter and TikTok if you want to follow us and leave comments. Again, at FilmBros Podcast.
Yes, sir. So, like I said, spoiler, last warning, get out of here. All right, we're going to get started. So, Palm Springs, like I said, we got Andy Samberg, we got J.K. Simmons, and we got Cristan, Milodi, and Tyler Hoechlin in there. We got some big cast in this one. This movie came out back in 2020, so like I said, it's spoiler review, but you guys need to go and watch this movie. It's been out for a while, and it's pretty good. Rotten Tomatoes score at a 94% and audience score at an 88%. So that did pretty good on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
So this movie, I gotta say, what do you think this movie's kind of a mixture of?
I don't even know, man. I thought it was comedy, slight romance, and I think coming of age, if I'm being for real.
Coming of age, yeah. Yeah, and like the movies that I can think of that kind of mix in well with this movie is kind of like Groundhog Day, Bridesmaids kind of movie. I don't know if you've seen those two, but
No.
Groundhog Day is basically he's living his life in a loop as well. And Bridesmaids is like a romantic comedy kind of thing. So yeah, it was a romantic comedy kind of movie with a time loop premise in there. We got the main character, Niles. He's played by Andy Samberg. He basically has been reliving the life over and over and over again, and then eventually, by accident, brings in Cristan, Milodi. A few things happen. They fuck shit up, and they, wind up being happy and meeting each other on the other side. Wound up making it out of the loop. Took a lot of time to do that. But they wound up being free. What do you think of the movie?
I liked it. It was really funny. A lot of the scenes when they were serious really felt serious. I thought it was really good.
I really like the chemistry between Andy Samberg and Cristan Milodi. Like their chemistry within the movie was great. That Andy Samberg gave a fucking performance because, like, even though, and it's because I watched a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, so I seen a couple times where he was very like Jake Peralta-y from like that show. So he kind of I feel like he blended that seriousness and that comedy really well in this one, even though there was a little stupid jokes that that he would put in his movies, but at the end of the day they weren't distracting and they were still funny and just kept the movie going. And then J.K. Simmons' performance in that movie was great, phenomenal. Cristan Milodi too, like she's a great actress. I'm actually watching the show right now, Love Made for Us or something like that. It's on HBO Max. She's giving a hell of a performance on there, so she's a really high caliber actress, and I feel like they all put on a great performance. What'd you think?
It's interesting you mentioned Brooklyn Nine-Nine with Andy Samberg because I mean he was on SNL and stuff way back when. I don't know if anyone's even old enough to remember that, but he was funny there. I think he really embodies that really like that adult that doesn't really know when to like I guess grow up and stuff. But in this movie, he has that sense, but at the same time, when it's time to be serious and emotional, he also delivers that. As you said, I mean, Cristan Milodi, she does her thing. She's really great as co-star to this movie, and J.K. Simmons, he always does well in whatever he's doing. I have no complaints on him ever. Like when we first meet his character, he shoots he shoots Andy Samberg's character Niles with an arrow out of fucking nowhere, and then we find out why, because he's hunting his character and stuff for pretty much looping him into a hell or whatever. And then later on, he gives a really serious scene when him and Niles have a very heart to heart.
Yes,
Really
I really that I was about to bring that up too. That scene between that J.K. Simmons and Andy Samberg, bro. That scene itself, like if this movie sucked completely, and it was just a terrible movie, that scene itself would have carried that whole movie for me. That scene was like the way J.K. Simmons delivered it, the way he was receiving, and they had that little back and forth, like that whole message in itself was beautiful, and I think they really put their heart into the performances, which is crazy because this was just, I believe, a Hulu release, so they put a lot into this movie.
Really good performances all around. I think even from like supporting actresses from Meredith Hagner, and Camila Mendez, and Tyler Hoechlin. He doesn't do much in this movie, but when he does, it's funny. He does well with his character. Like, no real complaints on the casting or anything like that. Really good movie.
Yeah, and the theme of this one, not giving a fuck, and finding that one person for you, and it shows within the time loop when he even said like, oh, there was there's no universe where his girlfriend and the other guy that she cheats on him with, that they weren't gonna be together, and so it shows that like not everything is absolute in certain things, but then there's always that other path, and letting go. So I kind of felt like the theme of this movie really dug deep with it, and the performances really helped push that theme up. What'd you think?
I obviously understood the theme. It was a lot about connecting and meeting people and just letting life sort of let its course. Because how much can you really let life course if you're stuck in a time loop? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know he was manipulating it best he could, saying that he got with pretty much everyone he could, depending on how long he was there. He doesn't even remember. But I understood it, most of it. Again, the actors just did really well. The scenes were funny. A lot of it, when needed to be serious, was serious. No real lacking here, I don't think.
Yeah. This movie was really good. I like Andy Samberg uncensored. I kind of feel like he has more open range when he is uncensored, when he because I feel like he wasn't holding back with this movie, and it showed that there was a lot of his storytelling, but a lot of ideas from him was put into the movie, and I kind of like him having a little bit more of the reins and being able to, because he reminds me of how Adam Sandler was when he was young. You know what I mean? So he reminds me kind of Adam Sandler. So he the way he's able to take serious situations and mix in that comedy, and do honestly just make you feel for that romantic comedy genre altogether, because sometimes it's just stalemate and they try too hard and it's not really good. But I feel like he really they poured a lot into this movie.
Yeah, no, for sure. He does. Actually, yeah, he does kind of, now that you mention it, he does give me that kind of vibe of a young Adam Sandler, but, now we know old Adam Sandler can also do serious movies, too. So.
Yeah, Yep. Yep. Um, what one thing that I would have to say, like, because for me this movie didn't have a lot of downsides. There was a lot of good in this movie, and um, even down to Tyler Hoechlin, like his performance, the little bit that he was doing in the comedy that he was doing, it was great. I liked how they did the character development for everybody. You know, you saw Andy Samberg start off as a I don't give a fuck because he's been through it so many times. He's all that, and then Cristan Milodi, like she was in denial. I feel like they showed those 5 stages of grief within every single time loop that she was going through, trying to figure out the best way to get home, until she eventually disappeared and had to figure it out on her own. I would say one drawback with the character development was just with Andy Samberg's character, only because there would be times where he would say in the moment, obviously that, carefree, don't worry about anything, like why are you scared? But when it was time for her to act like that, he would regress, in my opinion, and it would just to keep the story going on a little bit longer. It happened a couple scenes, and not too many. I think it was just maybe like 2 or 3 scenes where like he would just fuck around, say don't care about anything, but then go on and lecture Cristan Milodi's character, Sarah, and just like I said, just to keep pushing that plot forward, or the story forward just a little bit longer. And that, I think that was just one thing that kind of stuck out to me. What'd you think?
I don't know. It depends on the scenes, because I think I know which scenes you're talking about, but a lot of it was because she was just doing unnecessary shit. You know what I mean? To prove.
But wasn't that his?
Well, no, his
message
thing,
in the beginning.
Well, no, his thing was like be carefree and stuff, but not at the expense of other people. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like the scene where she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck around and get thrown in jail and like, or fight this cop or whatever." And he was like, "No, that's not. There's no point in that." You know what I mean? Like, be carefree, but don't go around fucking with other people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a lot of his point. Like,
yeah,
not at the expense of others. I think.
And I did get that. I'm not denying that part. Yeah, I did get that, but it was more. You can't be careless and careful. You know what I mean? You can't not give a fuck, but then be like, oh no, there's a line to where they're not giving a fuck doesn't happen. And I and they did add to it. I'm not, like I said, it's just something for me. It was kind of like a little nitpick because it showed in certain scenes where like things were gonna be wrapping up pretty soon, and he would regress every so often. Is that so he would be cool with everything that's happening, but then once it got to the point where like she's having that clarity and everything, it was like, no, pull it back. We need the story to go on a little bit longer. But they did do really well with building it and reinforcing it, so it didn't. That's what I'm saying. It didn't hiccup too hard where it distracted me from the story. It just, you could tell in a couple scenes that they kind of regressed them just a tad bit, but it did not affect the overall story. I understood that they got to make an 1.5-hour movie, and they got to, put a little bit extra in there to, drama to kind of keep it going. But that was just one thing for me.
I guess I can see what you're saying. I don't know. I don't think I have any real big complaints about this either. A lot of it was really funny, heartfelt. Like, you got the gist of it. I don't know. What about you? Anything else?
Honestly, no. I liked everything else. I think they explored the 5 stages of grief really well. I feel like like I said, with Jake's character, Andy Samberg's character, Niles, I feel like they really built him up well. Just a couple hiccups here and there for me, and that I think that's just my biggest peeve, to be honest, because it just happened at certain opportunities, and that was just kind of like something that would stick out for me. So they go on, and another thing for me, they didn't really tell us how the loop worked. Okay, because like in certain movies, they would tell you how the looping would work, and you know it would go from kind of like how in Groundhog's Day they would tell you like, oh, it loops, but certain things have certain consequences, stuff like that. It seemed like it was a ruleless place, and that's where the movie was probably going, or maybe they didn't think too deep into it, but they didn't really go on with the repercussions like how in different movies kind of before this movie kind of did well, because it wasn't just Groundhog's Day. I know that there's like a couple other time loop movies, and they gave structure. They gave more of a bubble, and I don't know if you'll be able to understand that, because I don't know if you've seen another time loop movie. Like I would say Groundhog's Day is a perfect example of how they gave parameters and showed you like, yeah, you can do this every day. Yeah, it's gonna reset, but there's gonna be consequences to those actions and stuff like that, or you know, little rules within that loop. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep continuity within the movie. And I don't feel like they did so much with this movie what they could have done with it. You know,
The only one that I can recall is that movie with I think it's Marlon Wayans. It's on Netflix. He's like, he has to get married, but the day before his marriage or whatever.
I've heard of that one. I don't think I've seen it. No.
Oh, okay. Well, his was a lot more of like, I guess, what Cristan Melody's character was trying to put it as, like a self actualization and stuff like that. You know, find out what's wrong and then prevent it or whatever. And then towards the end of the movie, he makes it better by saying how he feels or whatever toward his wife or whatever, because I guess his family, the wife's family, hated him and stuff or whatever. He just ends up speaking his mind, if I remember correctly. But that's the best one I can recall.
Mm-hmm.
For this one, I thought they kept it pretty simple for the movie and plot sake. We just know that it happens. We don't know why, but it happens. That's it. And every day you wake up in where you slept the same night before. And a lot of it was carefree, so there was no repercussions other than the fact that, you know, it's very like you said, it's a very like guilty thing, personal guilt type of thing.
Yeah.
Like you fuck with a cop, you get him killed or whatever, that's on you. You know what I mean? To live through that loop again. Like you don't have to go back and do it, but it's the fact that you lived it and now you're just like, oh shit, I got someone probably killed, even though they don't remember shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. I would just, for me, I would just hope like they would have put just a little bit more structure when it came to all that. But as long as you kind of understand where I'm coming from, I mean, it to me it wasn't a big, like I said, same thing with the other with my other little nitpick. Like it wasn't a big complaint. It was just something that I kind of seen in the movie, and I was like, you know, it would have been a little neat if they would have just dove a little bit deeper within that loop, and you know, let us know, hey, these are the certain things that are gonna happen, and you know, consequences, repercussions, whatever, and yeah. But I like the way they handled it. Like I said, overall, this movie is great. I really don't have many complaints, but I mean, go ahead and give me your rating and give me the summary. Let's go.
Well, before I do that, I wanted to talk about the little sorry, I just wanted to talk about the I guess it's plot twist, not really plot twist, but the big thing between Sarah and Abe, Milodi's character and Hoachland's character.
Yeah.
I want to know now that I'm thinking about it, how did she not remember that they hooked up or that she was in his bedroom? Is my thing.
Did they say she didn't remember within the movie? I don't think I remember that.
Well, no, she was they were making it like a big deal and stuff. And then remember, what you call it in the movie, they make it a point to be like, oh, well, she's not in the room. She must have went on a hike or whatever.
Oh, well, that was, what do you call it? Well, because nobody else knew that she was in the room. They were having a secret affair. So she knew, but she was guilty about it and did not want to speak about it. So she lied about it, saying that she, that she wakes up in her room, but nobody knew that she was in that room. So, and she would wake up earlier. That's why she was always in his room before him, waking him up at times, was because she would wake up like at 6 a.m. or something, trying to sneak out before. On that day, she probably was sneaking out before all the parents were awake and the siblings and everybody was up and about. You know what I mean? So
okay.
So she did know. She just didn't want to tell anybody. So when that plot twist happened, it was like, why doesn't she want to keep doing this? Why can't she relive it? Why is it so stressful? Why can't she just deal with it? The big plot twist was because the big burden that she couldn't let go of was she was sleeping with the husband or the fiance.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right then. That makes sense because now that the scene where I think she whispers it to her, right? And then she's like, "All right, well now I'm leaving." You know what I mean?
Yeah. On that scene, that's what I think that she was just trying to tell her what she wanted to hear, just to make her happy on that day, and she thought that was what was gonna work. But I don't think she told her the truth then, because she reacted completely different when she actually knew the truth versus when she told her that on that one time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the only thing, no, they explained the whole wormhole thing as well. I mean, they went into a long scientific tangent,
shit, yeah.
but at the end of the day, I feel like they explained everything well. Overall, I got to give this movie, for me, a 9. I got to give it a 9. 9.5. I think it was really good. I think the only thing that kept it from a 10 were those little hiccups. Like I said, they were minor. So I say I give it a 9.5. There were minor hiccups that I knew that they were trying to get the story, the movie going. But Andy Samberg gives a fucking performance, like literally, like I would have never thought that he can be serious like that, because the movies he's made, the shows he's made, it never shined on that part. So like this one really shows the acting chops that he has. And like I said, that scene between J.K. Simmons and him, like that scene just puts it all over the top, put that cherry on top of the cake, and just like this movie was really great for me. What about you? What do you think?
You know, really good movie. Again, everyone does their part. There's really great scenes, heartfelt scenes. You get a laugh, you get a tear if you're into that. I honestly, I don't even know where to put it. I know I want to say higher than 8, but not a full 10. I'll probably give it like a 9.
A 9? And what is keeping it from a 10?
I don't know. I just know that I don't know. I just know it's not a 10 for me.
Oh no. If it's not a 10, baby, we need to know what's the problem.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just
what do you think keeps it from that? Like, what is something that's like getting straight into your face that says?
What's preventing a 10? I think. Damn, I don't even know how to articulate it. Because everyone does their part and stuff. But I don't know. Maybe it's because. I can't even put it to words, man. Because I like Andy Samberg. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. But again, I've seen him in movies where he isn't, the best. I guess like that movie with Adam Sandler he's in, Stepson or whatever it's called.
Oh, That's My Boy.
Yeah, that one. Like, have you seen that one?
Yeah, I have.
Man, I don't know. Sometimes his acting just does hit and miss, and he hits here, but I think it's because of, I guess, the way I know he can be. It's preventing a full 10, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay. But he gave a better performance in this one.
Yeah.
You didn't want that performance?
Well, no, I did, but
That's My Boy's performance? Or?
No, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to articulate because yes, he does great here. But what I'm saying is, I know he acts goofier and stuff like that, and I think it's that interpretation where I know he plays dumb, and he's doing better in this movie. Where I'm like, why isn't he a little dumber? You know what I mean?
Is this a personal vendetta?
Yeah.
Do we got beef with Andy Samberg right now?
Not beef, but it's
so
just
you think that because he has better acting chops, you don't like that he didn't put that into certain other movies?
I guess.
And that's gonna deduct you from the number here?
Yeah, I guess so. That's the best way I could think about putting it.
Interesting. So you're gonna deducted points because of other movies, not because of this movie.
Well, yeah.
All right, y'all. But what did you guys? So what do y'all think out there? Have you guys seen the movie Palm Springs? Like I said, Andy Samberg, Cristan Milodi, they do their thing. They give a good they give such a great performance. Josh can't give it a 10 because if he did, that just break his scale for him. Okay, like they gave such a good performance that's just gonna be bad. But what did you guys think? Did you guys like the movie? Did you guys hate it? Go ahead and let us know. Where can they let us know, Josh?
Again, it's at FilmBros Podcast. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And if you want to leave a comment and stuff, Twitter and TikTok is also at FilmBros Podcast.
Yeah, and don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, share.
Exactly.
Do all that.
Talk to you guys later.
Yeah, later.